I'm going to give you an overview of gilding in the traditional format. I'm going to tell you about things that have been added, that some of which I've mixed in myself, some of which have come from other trades and other disciplines. And I'm going to have this be an interactive demonstration so that you can participate and get a sense of what it's like to handle a sheet of 23 karat gold that's 1/250,000th of an inch thick. And imagine that 500 years ago, someone said, yeah, I think we should take carved wood, rabbit skin glue, calcium carbonate, and then, yeah, let's get a gold nugget and beat it really thin and put it on top, and it'll look like solid gold. And if you look at this top corner of this frame, it's a pretty convincing illusion. The burnish is the process of polishing the gold and causing it to look literally solid. That's the magic, and I've prepared, this is like a cooking show where I've made the chicken already and then I just put on the sauce. So I've got some leaf here that I put on earlier, and I'm guessing that in this particular room, because of the dryness or moisture, whichever it is, enough will have left the system that I can burnish it so you'll see that. I'm also going to actually leaf here so you can see the gold going on. Frames from the Renaissance and earlier that were still bright burnished gold because the system is so stable as long as you don't touch it with water, because you can wipe it off. Just that simple. So it's an amazing system. When you brush gesso on and surface it properly, you get a surface that is surprisingly porcelain-like. And again, wood, chalk, and glue. And one of the downfalls of a gilded frame is when the illusion is convincing, people take it literally. They think it is something solid. So they pick it up by the ear. And the ear comes off because it splits with the carving or it splits with the cast 19th century ornament. So damage is very, very common. So treatment of the damaged frame is one of the things that we do on a ongoing basis. Each little stroke of the burnisher pressing on the surface causes the molecules of the clay to flatten out and the molecules of the gold to flatten out. And it's like a steamroller on a asphalt paving job. It starts out gravelly and gets rolled. And as it gets rolled, it gets reflective. And that's physically what's happening to the burnish. So there's physical pressure to flatten out the whole system. With oil gilding, the surface is prepared, and instead of with clay as a final coat, a sealer is used, traditionally shellac, and the shellac provides a uniform surface. And a very thin layer of varnish is brushed on everywhere. Anywhere you want the gold to stick, you brush varnish. And at the right time, which is usually 8 to 12 hours after you brush on the varnish, that varnish has a little bit of stickiness left, and it's called the proper tack. In gilding, the proper tack is determined by placing your knuckle on the varnish, and if it leaves a knuckle print, it's too wet. And if it goes click, when you lift up your knuckle, it's just right for gilding, and you'd better be ready to gild. You take a soft brush like this, but much larger, and you tap the sheets into the crevices, and then you brush, and by the time you're done, that gold has gone down into every single nook and cranny there is, if you painted it with varnish. If you missed a spot, it comes out yellow. Or if you can get the sheet hanging and not blowing too much in the wind, and you can get a backlight, you can see your finger go behind the leaf. You look through the leaf. And then you can also check the gold for, there are different grades. There's glass gilding for decorative sign painters. It's the gold that's the protective layer. And if you seal that, the varnish is going to go. Well, I'd like to thank you all for coming to this demonstration, and I would like to say that you will leave with a body of information that's hard to collect in one single dose in any given place on the planet.